Hey guys, this is like my 13th time recording the intro because everyone seems to call me at once, like sister asking for Netflix passcode or anything. So anyway, welcome back to another video. This is a new mic, so hopefully it sounds alright. Hopefully I'm loud enough. I'm trying to be as close to the mic as possible, and I'm trying not to get pick up from my computer. I want to thank you all for watching. Keep it up. If you're new here, like and subscribe, helps me out a bunch. Anyway, let's get right into it. So, all my exams just happened. Deku absolutely aced it, but we already know about that. So I'm just going to just go over a little bit. He was MVP. He was arguably the best one out of there. Acted like the most like a hero. Blah 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 blah. All you need to know: Deku OP. Ta-da! Anyway, the USJ incident. It's about to happen, but before that, Deku strolls into school. After being congratulated by All Might on the beach at night, he strolls into school, and that's when his homeroom teacher then starts to tell the class something important. He basically tells the class that they're all getting ready for a school trip, so pop on the bus. So they all get packed up, and they go onto the bus, and he also says to bring their hero outfits, so they bring their hero outfits with them. They get on the bus and everyone's... Well, Bakugo starts to pick on Deku even though he's got powerful, because Bakugo is annoyed at Deku for not, well, telling him about his power. So basically, Baku's picking on Deku, and that's when everyone else basically picks on Bakugo, because Bakugo's picking on Deku, and Deku's like, how the table turns, or how the turntable, something like that. So anyway, they get the bus drive happens. They all just talk. Deku is sat at the back, near the back of the bus with a bunch of friends. They're all talking. It's all class 1A, all happy merrily. Then they get there. They all come off at single file because of Ida demanding them to, being, well, class rep. Like, he's like, hey, everybody, get off, like, well, no, in the Ida way, he's like, well done, guys, everyone get off now. Okay. Yeah, he's just like that. So anyway, it then leads up, and they walk in. When there was that UA, they was told that there was going to be 3 teachers, but Deku clocks on immediately that there's only 2 teachers, and that's when 13 puts up 3 fingers. By the way, 13 is the other hero there, if you didn't know. That's when Deku realizes that 13 has put up 3 fingers to Aizawa, and they're missing a teacher, so he puts the puzzles together and realizes All Might has used up all his time saving people this morning, or he's something's happened with All Might. It doesn't panic him because he knows that All Might has his limit, and he doesn't say anything else because he doesn't want any rumors to get out there. So, anyway, that's when Aizawa starts talking to the class. Hi, well, no, don't go hi. Class 1A, this is 13. She will be an assistant teacher, assisting to teach you with me today. 13 then takes over, and basically she tells the class what's happening. So she tells the class about how there's different zones, and different zones equal up to different things, like how there's a volcano zone or a hot zone, there's a city zone, there's a water zone, and then there's also, what's it called? Just the main zone, a rocky area. 13 then tells the students to all get ready, because today we're going to be training in the USJ. I forgot what the acronym stands for, but then they're all like, oh, so it's like Universal Studios Japan, right? And no one says it, but they all think it. So that's when a black mist starts to, a black purpley mist starts to conjure up in the center of the arena. Everyone's really confused as 2 figures pop out. It's a figure that's covered in the purpley mist, like seen before, and a figure covered in hands. Then Deku's and everyone else. Well, Deku then thinks about, these are these aren't real villains, right? And that's when Deku's mind then darts back to the the infiltration of UA, because of course the alarm went off, and that's how Deku decided Ida was going to be the captain of the UA. By the way, I've skipped that bit because I want to get to all the action-packed parts, because that doesn't really change, and I don't want to just repeat stuff that happens in the anime itself. So, anyway, Deku realizes that these might not actually be proper villains, and that's when he sees the panic on Aizawa's and 13's faces and realizes that they are actual villains. And that's when the whole class catches on, and 13 immediately says, "Everyone get behind us. Heroes are going to handle this one. This is not a training drill." That's when 13 goes to, approaches the villains, and then the portal guy approaches them like, "Ha ha ha ha, so these are the Class 1A students. They're quite remarkable, but where's All Might? We stole the schedules from earlier." Deku overhears this and realizes his suspicions were correct. They were the ones who got the reporters into UA, and the reporters were just a distraction. But Deku doesn't say anything yet because he focuses on the matter of hand, and that's the fact that villains are here. But he realizes that he cannot attack the villains yet without the teachers go ahead, basically. So the teachers are like, no, the teachers aren't like anything. The teachers are basically, stay behind, stay safe, you gotta stay behind us. Aizawa, that's when a big portal appears around the whole arena, and a bunch of troops start popping in. These are weaker villains. You can tell they're weaker villains by the aura. That was another thing that gave away they were real villains, and that's why Deku was surprised that they were fake villains and then realized that they were actually real villains, if that made sense. So anyway, a bunch of weaker villains started popping in as a kind of safety buffer between the two main evil-looking ones and the heroes. So the teachers start focusing on protecting the students at hand, and that's when the students get teleported away, but not before a ginormous, monstrous humanoid creature is spawned into the arena, which makes everybody freeze because they can feel that it has the power of All Might. Even Deku can feel the power irradiating from this monstrous looking being, as everyone stood there in shock as they're afraid that whatever this mutated creature is, will it be as powerful as the symbol of peace? That is when they're all teleported into separate zones. Deku, of course, wakes up, as we're now in his locked perspective, so I can keep the story linear. He wakes up and he's confused as he's in the water. Of course, he didn't go unconscious, but now he can see what's happening and he's confused why he's in the water. That's when a villain charges at him, and he realizes that he can't really do anything with him being stuck in water. Sure, he could use one for all, but will it kill him? And number two, what if there's a other hero here that I accidentally hurt? That's when he's saved by Froppy, and Deku realizes that he's been attacked by. That's when he realizes he's actually under attack as well, and he's definitely sure they're under attack. This isn't a training drill, so Deku, he's getting ready to fight. He talks to Suyu, and she's basically like, "Oh my god, we're under attack, what can we do?" He first of all, he thanks her, then he says, "I've got a plan." Of course, Minette isn't here this time, so throwing sticky balls into the whirlpool won't work. So what he says is, if you can grab onto my back strong enough, and whilst I only support you with one hand, what I could do is flick with all my power to maybe create some sort of air pressure, and this air pressure could cause the water to go down, and then due to physics, it will cause a ripple, and if they're not, and no matter how strong swimmers they are, they will all be forced and grouped up into one area, which will give us enough time to escape. Tsuyu then says, wow, that was a lot of mumbling, but realizes that Deku's plan could work to escape. So that's when they commence the plan. The plan. Tsuyu jumps on Deku's back as he puts one hand to keep her on her back and goes, one for all, 50%. 50% full carling, and jumps up in the air. Then he goes, okay, one for all, flick. This causes an air pressure, and he says 100% afterwards in what seems like a powered up voice. So, like, 100%. And the flick that seems anything else but normal causes a wave of air pressure, which then creates a mini tornado, a mini whirlpool that sucks in all the villains and gives them enough time to escape, as the villains are distracted by swimming because they're all being bashed into each other. So that's when Deku keeps on full cowling, lands, and runs into the center to go help Aizawa. He drops off Tsuyu in a safe position where she starts to she drops off Tsuyu. No, he runs at full cowling, and he jumps all the way over to the other side of the arena where the heroes are. She drops off Tsuyu with 13, who is then about to fight the Wormpool guy, as Todoroki has got there due to him not being that far away, and he's taken out some of the weaker villains. So Deku then realizes he's going to have to go after the Nomu, so he gets ready to fight the Nomu as the rest of the battle is going the same when it comes to the rest of, the battle. Because everything else is the same, other than Deku's now going to have to fight the Nomu to stop Aizawa from getting injured, of course. So Aizawa is going in, and he tries to fight the Nomu, and he realizes even though the Nomu's got his quirk taken away, he's still strong, and Aizawa gets thrown to the side. He isn't injured that bad, but he is knocked unconscious. So Deku runs in and does Detroit and says Detroit Smash, but he only does 50%. So he's like, 50% Detroit Smash. He makes contact with the Nomu as the Nomu grabs his fist and flings Deku to the side. Luckily, Deku was in full cowling at the minute, but otherwise he would be knocked out like Aizawa. Then the Nomu goes in for a punch, but Deku quickly dodges it and then says, oh, so you're strong then. 100% smash! The smash hits Nomu, and the whole arena shakes with the power. The Nomu doesn't flinch though, only being pushed back a bit, because his power's a little bit stronger than All Might, but still not strong enough to defeat the Nomu in one punch. Deku's then panicking because he's like, if All Might's power isn't strong enough to defeat him, will mine be? That's when Deku then says, well, if I gave up now, would I really be a hero? So, the Nomu punches Deku, knocking him away, but Deku repels from the attack, jumping and cracking half of the arena's wall as he jumps back into action. When he jumps back into action, he screams, Detroit Smash! 100% repeatable. That's when he repeatedly hits Detroit Smash as quick as he can. Nomu matches these punches, but you can Nomu's very slowly losing to stamina and his shock absorption basically running out, as Deku is technically stronger than him. So Deku keeps on smashing the Nomu until the Nomu manages to grab him by the neck, having slightly longer arms than him, and fling him to the side. This almost knocks out Deku, and it would have completely knocked him out of the arena if it was the side that was cracked. Luckily, it was the other side. But as Deku made contact with the other side of the arena, a big crack went down it again. So there's now cracks both sides of the arena that if he hits it, the arena will crumble, and it could potentially A, kill him, or B, kill everyone else in there, or C, not stop him and he could keep on going into the sky like All Might's did. Like All Might when he defeated Nomu. So, anyway, what Deku decides to do is use his speed advantage over Nomu, as that is the one advantage he has, because he has extra speed and extra power, but not extra experience or extra like length, like physical size. So what Deku decides to do is he goes complete special ops, so the Nomu can't see where he's coming from. He sneaks up and uppercuts him with his fist covered by 100%. Then he roundhouses him around the head and runs away. Then he runs in, punches him around straight in the face again, runs away, punches him straight in the face again, runs away. And to everyone else, this just looks like lines of energy going through the Nomu, causing scratches and damages and punches. That's when Deku goes in for a clean punch to the stomach, but follows it up with another 100 punches. These 100 punches wear down the Nomu's shock absorption, and then that's when Deku decides to use a new attack, and he completely uppercuts the Nomu, but follows it up, jumping up into the air, and then he realizes that there's nowhere he can go, so he's just going to fall into the Nomu. But that's when he feels a hand on his shoulder, turns around, and it's the 7 users of One for All, with only a few of them being blurred, including All Might and the 2 ones before the original. And the original then goes, imagine that you can fly. You have that quirk. So Deku realizes that he can actually float. Now, if it wasn't for that close connection to One for All, he wouldn't be able to do this. And this isn't a permanent thing. This is kind of like a gift that has been granted to him due to his close connection to One for All already, and he's gonna have to earn it in the future. But the spirits of One for All realize that Deku's putting everything on the line here, so they decide to give him float. With this float, he goes from falling down in the air to flying concentrated, and picks up speed, and with all his speed that he's collected from this, let's say, kilometer gap, he hits the Nomu with the doubled impact of his fly and his punch and One for All, and this completely disables the Nomu, like takes him out of combat by getting him stuck into the ground to where he can't get back up again. This only worked because of his shock absorption completely, like, basically hitting its edge, and the Nomu has now fainted, it's knocked out, and Deku's absolutely annihilated him, and the Nomu's been taken out. Of course, 13 has also been turned to dust by the portal guy, and then the portal guy's like, that kid defeated the Nomu? We gotta run. And before Deku could compose himself, because he's very tired out from overuse of One for All, and due to him using the float quirk, before he can compose himself, he actually goes unconscious too. But it's not before the portal guy and Shigaraki get out of there due to the fear of the power of Deku. This is also followed up by the rest of the puny villains being taken care of, and Ida actually Ida saw that Deku was fighting and decided to use that time to escape and go get All Might after some persuasion from Uraka and the rest of the class. And then Uraka sees that Deku's knocked out, so Uraka runs to go see whether he's okay, and that's when the that's when the other pro heroes arrive with All Might, and All Might arrived and he took care of all the weaker villains. Uraka and All Might both go see whether Deku's okay. The other pro heroes come, they lock up the weaker villains that will reawaken, will wake up, and Deku wakes up in the hospital a day later, and with Inko at his side and Uraka as well as All Might at his side, and everything's fine with him. He's not injured. He was just knocked out from exhaustion. And this is the end of this episode, because season 1 would actually end there. I hope I made the ending as clear as possible, because I'm pretty sure I muddled up a bit, but to you guys, hopefully it's clear. I want to thank you guys for watching this episode. Like and subscribe, it helps me out a bunch. Have a nice day or evening. I think this is coming out like what, 4ish, 5ish. Sorry I've not been uploading lately. That was because of my iPad was confusing to record on, and hopefully this microphone sounds okay. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.